Okay, so here I am, I'm reading a script I wrote back 10, 12 years ago. Maybe we'll see how it's dated within the script, if there's any references to time. It's a sitcom script. Must have wrote it in 2012, 13. See how it, never read it out loud before, to see how it goes. I don't write scripts anymore, that was the thing I did at university. Okay, let's go. This is called Jules Was in a Band, Jules being short for Julian. Not a great title. Interior, Julian's Mercedes car. Night, Julian, 40 years old, wears his thinning hair like a rock star, speaks like a thespian, so he's like an ex-band member, and he's obviously going through issues in his life. He's like a retired rock star, almost. He drives his long-suffering girlfriend Lizzie, 30 and pretty, around. Julian. Lizzie, it's difficult to deny. The band royalties have dried up, as somehow I've lost my relevance to modernity since Zuckerberg made iTunes. Okay, so this is like Facebook era. Lizzie, please don't. Talking about money makes me feel like, Julian, a dirty sex worker. I get it. Lizzie, I was going to just say, like all I care about is money, but you get it? Julian, and we've been together 5 years. Lizzie, 6. Julian, really? Has it been 6 years? Lizzie, we're celebrating our anniversary. Julian, no, our anniversary is next. Oh, yeah, it's our famed anniversary meal. This is not just any Friday night drive, but 6? Really? Julian is slyly looking at his mobile phone. Lizzie, are you checking the calendar on your phone? Put it away. Julian leans over to her. His Mercedes starts veering. Julian in an old cowboy voice. My lady don't tell me what to do. Lizzie, drive straighter. Julian immediately does what she says and corrects his driving line. Interior, Mario's diner, later. In a poorly lit eatery, is Julian eating opposite... This is so badly written. In a poorly lit eatery, is Julian eating opposite Lizzie. Julian. We are so tightly knit together, since we even finish each other's Lizzie sentences. Julian says meals. I was going to say meals. Is your duck fair game? Lizzie shrugs and Julian picks off duck from her plate. Julian, this is obviously written on my back when I used to eat meat. Julian, there's 2 things I need to get off my... Well, back when I was in the band, well, I got a call last week. My ex never said she was pregnant. I had no clue I had a kid, but the banks took her home, so they have to stay with me for a while. This is ham-fisted in. Lizzie, what? No, how could you? Julian, the second thing is that I have bowel cancer. What? I said this is part of a joke. The second thing, I have bowel cancer, terminal, 2 weeks and dead. It must be a recessive gene, because I live a clean lifestyle. Is the rest of your duck open season? Another shirt ruined. I guess the duck's grease on Julian's... There's duck's grease on Julian's shirt. Lizzie crumbles as he presses her head to her buxom... As she presses his head to her buxom breast and kisses him. What the hell is this? Oh, God. Lizzie, we're going to make it through this, you hear me? All the way. I love you, I love you, I love you. Julian, freeze frame. Ooh, magic. I don't have cancer. Now compare the pain that caused to my former lover and love child news. I'm not dying. Lizzie regresses back with a nasty scowl. Lizzie, why would you say you were dying? Julian, it was a tactic to soften the blow. Lizzie, but you look so disgusting and pale. You've been pathetic in bed. Julian, I'm not pathetic in bed. Lizzie, no, you have been pathetic like a boy made from noodles. I've been your girlfriend for 5 years, and I thought for some reason you may have proposed tonight. Julian, so it's 5. Win for Julie Jules. Why would I say that? Why would I write that? Lizzie, I meant 6, and whenever I even bring up the conversation of me moving in, you manage to change. Julian, teams. Who did Anelka play for before Chelsea? So I guess Anelka is at Chelsea. Let's have a look when that was. I guess I'm still a bit of a Chelsea fan. He was at Chelsea in 2008 to 2012. So that shows you how old this script is. So who did Anelka play for before Chelsea? Waiter, Lizzie. I don't want some kid here. Please, just give me a solution to anything. Julian bangs on the table in his eureka moment. Julian, babe, I got it. He's with Bolton Wanderers, and technically it's 3 kids. He has 2 others that are someone else's. It'll be exactly like they aren't there and invisible, except for the fact that they will be there and very visible. This is not happening. You don't know the first thing about parenting. Julian, I can learn to breastfeed, so great discussion. Is this guy like an idiot? They'll be round in 2 days. I appreciate your solidarity. Lizzie, are you paying any attention? The alien's not going to read this. Are you paying it, Lizzie? Are you paying any attention? I'm just going to change the words. Lizzie, are you paying any attention? There's aliens. I'm purple. I'm an alien. I screwed your dad. Julian, me too. I'm almost full. Julian obviously wasn't listening. Lizzie gets out of her seat. Lizzie, everything you say, you are human shrapnel. I'd rather you had cancer and you take me Mario's, a restaurant named after a video game character, for our anniversary. Julian, I'm sorry, Luigi's only accept prior bookings, but what says I love you more than a nice meal? Lizzie, I don't know, maybe saying I love you sometimes. I don't get how you function. Julian, okay, I think I can read signs. You want sex tonight, that's why you're not eating. Lizzie leaves in a huff. Julian hangs his head. Julian shouts out Lizzie. Lizzie walks back to him. Lizzie says, what? Julian says, sorry, I was just saying your name to myself. I didn't think you'd actually come back. Lizzie leaves. Julian pours wine from the glass back into the bottle. I had that in a different script. A young waiter comes over. Young waiter says, are you finished, sir? Julian shrugs. The young waiter sits down and eats his duck. Julian says, hello, do you mind? The young waiter pretends to be on his mobile phone. The young waiter, boom, boom, boom. That's like his phone vibrating. He's making a noise. Boom, boom, boom. I'm on the phone. Julian says, spineless young bastard. That's a bit savage. We return. Interior, Julian's house, hallway, next day. Standing in Julian's hallway are Anina, 42, his former flame, now with her mum's body. Yeah, I had to obviously back that in. Couldn't just assume her being 42 with kids that she's got a mum's body. It is now with a mum's body. It was just so generic. It's just like a mum can have literally any body, and I'm like, oh yeah, mum's body. That's very descriptive. She has matured, unlike Julian. Beth, 16, popular girl. Callum is 14, a troublemaker, and Sophie is 8, a lackadaisical and biracial. All meeting Julian for the first time, and vice versa. Julian, hi, hey. I need a place for children. Julian, this is Beth, Callum, Sophie. Kids say hi. The kids are deadly silent in the presence of a stranger. Anina, this is the first time you've met your child. Julian, say something. Julian hasn't a clue which child is his. Obviously I know my child, but introduce me properly to the 2 that aren't mine, so they don't feel left out. Then I'll also say hello to my child. I'm a child lover. I guess that was a joke. Anina, I talked to you 10 times on the phone. Weren't you listening? Just say hi to your child. Julian pulls out his phone and fakes a call. Boom, boom. Sorry, I'm on the phone. So that's why he said he was spineless. Okay, that makes sense. The title credits show Julian Shadow. Okay, so clearly I don't think Jules was in the band was the title. I think Julian's Shadow was the title. But I must have changed it. Maybe that was the title of the episode. That would make sense. And then Julian's Shadow is the show name. Okay. Exterior. Julian's driveway. Day. Julian and Anina unload boxes at the back of a rented van. Julian says, I'm switching my Mercedes for a more family suitable car. Anina, I appreciate that. Julian, but so we are clear, I'm not a taxi service. If you want a ride, I'll expect money in return. Anina, you just described a taxi service, and I won't be paying you for petty rides, but I do wish there was a way I could repay you for staying here. Julian, in monthly installments, I have a card reader inside. Lizzie, well, you don't have a card reader. It's not really possible. You need to be a business. Lizzie, you may have got an ode, but you're still the funny bassist you were on tour. Damn, he's the bassist. Julian, we're the same age. When you were a groupie, you were a bit older than me. I'm not old. Lizzie, I've seen 3 different nose trimmers in your bathroom. Julian, that doesn't make me old. It just means I keep forgetting I've bought the previous one because I'm old. Anina, this isn't going to be weird, is it? How'd your girlfriend take it? She encouraged it, if anything, says Julian. Flashback to Mario's diner. I wish he had cancer, says Lizzie. Exterior street outside Julian's house day. Julian and Anina as they were. So Julian says, to be honest, it's not going well. She always thinks I'm lying to her. Anina, why? Julian, because I'm always lying to her. I accidentally hit on my friend's 17-year-old daughter and I bought him a beer and we're good. Obviously, yeah, bought a mate a beer and we're good. Why can't she be more like that? Anina, but are you in love? Julian, she's 17, I'm not in love with her, we barely met. Then he realises, oh, you mean with John? Oh, he's a guy, no. Then we're talking about Lizzie, got it, I love her like a fatty loves cake. Why would this 40-year-old dude say that? I'm getting no rock star vibes from this guy at all. Anina, how romantic, I'll stick that in a card for you. Julian, she even implied that I was lying about the whole thing. Anina, but you are lying. Julian, I don't like the implication. I just wish she'd show a little blind face sometimes. Sophie, a worm with a Sophie, with a worm in her hand, comes over. Like how kids are trusting. Sugar is good for your teeth now, and Julian, sugar your teeth now, and I'm not reading this next part. Sophie's son, this is dated as hell. From 12 years ago. I'm not saying that now. So skipping that. Anina, aren't you excited to be living in a new house with Julian? Sophie, I'm not sure. What if he smells? All old people smell. Anina, that's not true. She smells Julian. Actually, you smell a little. You could use a deodorant. Julian, I've been moving boxes alone, and I bath daily. Sophie, you bathe in your own dirt. Anina, you used to take baths in the sink, Sophie. Sophie says, but I always used to poop in diapers and pee in a bowl. That's what he'll be doing in a few years' time, whenever he gets older and senile. Even older. Anina, whoa, Sophie, where'd you find that language? McGarvey's toilet. It's like every one of these characters has the exact same voice. They're all the same person, but just different names, because they don't have a distinctive vocabulary. They all kind of say the same rude stuff. It's like they're all the same person, but different heights, ages, sexes, blah blah blah. So Anina says, whoa, Sophie, where'd you find that language in McGarvey's toilet? Sophie says, from you. You said it last week. Anina says, kids have such active imaginations. Sophie says, how much bubble bath do you use? Julie says, I don't use any, but I can buy some. Sophie, if you have to buy some, it's already too late. I bet he doesn't even have bath toys. Julian sniggles. I don't, but I'm sure you can borrow your mum's special ones, though I think they take to a AA batteries. Well, nice. Straight onto the vibrator jokes. Great. Sophie, Mum, I want to play with your special toys. I want to play. Anina. Sophie, go unpack your boxes. Sophie walks into the house after grabbing a teddy. Ouch. Julian says, ouch, the third degree, little detective Sophie. Anina, Why would her name be Sophie? It's Sophie. Thanks for that, Mum's bath toys bit. Real helpful. Julian. A minute ago you referred to me as Julian to her. Can I refer to the lines and assume that that one isn't mine? Anita is disgusted. Anita is disgusted. Julian, you're putting a face. Does that mean she is mine? Then thinking, I can just rule her out on account of the brown skin situation. 1 down, 3 to go. I'm cooking her fried chicken, but now I realise that's racist. This is really, really, really good. No, it's not. But so I'm just gonna cut up some watermelon. What? I know Gork's in unbelievable disgust. Julian, okay, now I'm wondering if I would feel less hated out there with you or in there with Sophie. She continues her stern look. Julian, I'll take my chances inside. Interior, Julian's house, master bedroom, same time. Lizzie marks her territory, fixing pictures of herself onto Julian's bedroom wall. Beth stands in the door staring at her. Lizzie awkwardly begins knocking on the wall. Lizzie, I'm checking for structural weak points. Okay, interior, Julian's house, lounge moments later. Julian struggles to carry boxes up the stairs, almost doing his back in. He notices a grown man, Kevin, 32, scruffy as a gym bag, spread on the couch watching a film on his 50-inch TV. Had to be 50 inches, I don't know. Size don't matter. Kevin, who are you? Julian, it's my house, who are you? Kevin, snap, I'm Kevin, Anina's cousin. I just got out of that house and Anina said I could bunk with her. Sounds like prison. Yeah, Julian, your house was repossessed also? And Kevin, no, the house was overcrowded. You were in jail, what for? I slightly enter people's houses uninvited and borrowed items on a permanent basis like phones. But I'm done with that now. A new man. Kevin, mobile phone rings, he answers it. Kevin, stop calling, it's not her phone anymore. Kevin hangs up. Julian, you're stealing phones again, don't you see? Kevin, you can't be prosecuted from the same or different crime twice, or similar crime twice. Julian, that is not even true. See, everyone is just an idiot in this. Like, Julian's an idiot when he needs to be an idiot, Kevin's an idiot when he needs to be an idiot. It just depends on the scene and the story and the joke. Kevin, it's not that good. So Kevin, it's the law. You need to educate yourself. But what is your bylaw policy on using your ensuite toilet? Julian, simple, don't ever. Kevin, okay, you do anything that you always do where you say I shouldn't be in reality, but you think you do nothing you always do where you say I shouldn't, but in reality you think it's a good idea. Julian, I've never said that to you as I've never met you before now. Kevin, it sounds like you're egging me on to stank up your toilet. Julian, what are you talking about? Kevin, new angle. What is the house etiquette if someone stanked your ensuite? Really blocked it up but feels guilty. Julian, seriously? But do you reckon you could help with the boxes? Kevin, yeah, I could. Kevin goes back to watching the TV. Julian says, so up. Kevin says, I said that I could, that, not that I would. You're inferring there. Julian, please, just for 5 minutes. Kevin, how about I help you during the next commercial break? Julian, you're watching the DVD. Kevin, so you have your answer. Julian, do you know which kid's mine? Kevin ignores him and gets back to the TV. Julian, just promise me that you'll unblock the toilet. Kevin, you have so many promises like don't stank my toilet, help me move boxes, not to sell your aftershaves to people in bars, stop wiping my arse on your ensuite towels. This is typed in ass, like American version. Julian, I haven't. You serious? It's been an hour, get out of my house. Julian grabs the TV remote and goes to turn it off. Julian, well, then off it is. Off. Why is this remote not working? Kevin, I think the short one with the long hair, Sophie, I don't know. The short boy took the double A's. Julian hears a vibrating, buzzing noise from upstairs. Sketchy. Interior, Julian's house, bathroom, moments later. Julian races upstairs to find Sophie standing on a box, shaving a chunk of her hair out with a shaver in the mirror. Julian, thank God, I thought you might have had one of your mum's vibrators. Sophie, what's a vibrator? Julian, a vibrator, it means £5 and you forget you even talk to me. Easy, Sophie, easy and okay. Callum stands behind with a scheming look in his face. Julian, £2.50 each, and that's the overheard. Obviously the kid overheard. £2.50 each and you never talk about it again. Callum, 10 each. Julian, okay, let's go on a hunt and find Daddy's wallet. Forever I am dad too. Am I your dad? Callum, hell no. Julian, that's a bingo. I'm not saying the next line. That is questionable. Interior Julian's house, kitchen later. Anita is alone for the first time with Lizzie. Isn't it odd that you've moved in with a guy by chance, who you by chance slept with over a decade ago? Not really. We have a kid. Lizzie, not odd, I mean to say pathetic. Anina, we were together for 20 minutes until we decided we just had to have a kid. Lizzie, just because they hadn't invented condoms in the 1930s doesn't mean that you were in love, or was it the pig bladder split? Why is Lizzie so mean? Like, all the characters are so, like, one note. They're mean, and they're dumb, and they're evil, and they're manipulative. I forget I haven't read your autobiography in a while, the Bible. Wow, really, really funny. Anina, how long have you been dating without a proposal? As long as that joke, or is it 6 long years? Lizzie, 5. Anina, I swear it was 6. Lizzie, definitely 5. Anita peers into Lizzie's eyes to see if she's lying. Anina, you know, we'll always have a kid together. Here's my leftovers. Why is, like, Anina so horrible a person? Like, I thought it was going to be nice, but it's just horrible, and Lizzie's horrible, like, Julian's horrible, the kids are horrible, the cousin Kevin is horrible. They're all just, like, terrible people. Lizzie, as long as in your mind he stays your ex, because it would be lame, nay pathetic if you tried to change it. He's above tastings. Anina, I've just tossed a half-eaten sandwich into the trash. Would you like that to call it your boyfriend? Why is she so mean? They change code, threatening looks until Julian enters. Julian, how are my 2 favourite girls in the world getting along? They both frown with awkward silence. Lizzie, I can't stay any longer, Julian. I've got to go, I'm leaving. Julian, I figured as much, call it off, it's for the best, I guess. Lizzie, no, I meant I'm leaving for work at Harrods. Interesting choice where she works. Don't know why I chose it. No idea. Julian leans in to kiss her goodbye, but she shies away, leaving him to kiss her shoulder as she leaves. Julian, are you working tomorrow? Anina, no, I want to be able to take the kids and myself on their first week at a new school. Julian, coolamundo. Anina, don't say that, you're not 12. Julian, no problemo. Interior, Julian's house, and the landing next morning. Julian, in his dressing gown, waits outside his bathroom. Beth exits the bathroom. Julian is about to go in, but is pipped by Sophie, who sneaks through and slams the door onto his hand. Interior, Julian's house, kitchen / lounge later on. Julian enters the kitchen as Beth watches the TV. Julian, morning Beth. The fruit of my loin. No response from Beth. Julian finds empty packaging in the bread bin. Who left this in? His voice tries off as he notices Beth eating toast. He pours a bowl of kids' cereal, but only a large glass of milk comes out of the bottle. He empties the bowl into the bin. A rushed Anina in her nurse uniform paces into the kitchen. Julian, okay, I've got that already. Anina, you're going to have to take the kids to school today. The hospital's called me in. Julian, they can't just do that. Can't you do a strike or write yourself a sick note? I'm seeing my agent today. He thinks I can make it as an actor, be the next Elvis. Anina, anyone can have a heart attack on a shitter. Why would she talk like this? Why would she say shit? This is like a nurse and a mum, and like she talks like Julian. We all have the exact same voice. I can't have a heart attack on a shitter, and I can say no, and I can't say no to people. I'm now a 4-time Jehovah's Witness and have 3 love film packages. The funny thing is, I actually spoke to Jehovah's Witnesses at my front door when I was at uni, because I was bad at saying no, and they came around a few times until my mate came over and was like, what's going on? And then I also had love film at probably the exact same time as well. This is like a trip down memory lane reading the script. So Julian, surely they have to give you more notice than an hour. That's unfair. And they left me a voicemail yesterday, but I got this stupid phone new last week at a market stall. It came with a free jumper, but it keeps deleting messages before I hear them, and there's been a major motorway accident, multiple injuries and deaths. So there's a major motorway accident, and now it's only having to come in now the next day. Okay. Julian, shit. Sorry, I didn't know that. And I bet it's because of a drunk driver. So can you take the kid? Julian, yeah, sure. That is just terrible. It's unacceptable. God, that makes me annoyed. A real piece of crap. Can I help you? Anina, you already agreed to take the kid. Julian takes the 40 mobile phone out of Anina's hand. Julian, whoever sold you this phone did you a massive disservice. A real POS. Piece of shit, that means. Anina, Jules, are you angry about the phone or the dead people? Julian, yeah, it's that a question to whichever one you're angry about. Anina, to which one? You never listen. Julian, mostly the multiple victims one. I hope they catch the shooter. This is England, right? Maybe if we're gonna, his girlfriend's gonna work in Harrods. There's a shooter killing people. That's more of America. Anina, it wasn't a shooting. Julian, or the AIDS outbreak. What the hell? It was just literally just like, yeah, a teenager writing this. Anina, the car crash. Julian, shit, there's been a car crash. Just like, I swear, just like any age is just funny when you're a teenager. Or just like, oh, it's just humour. Hashtag humour. There wasn't actually hashtags back in those days. Julian, shit, there's been a car crash. Anina, just make sure Callum gets through the gates the whole way. Then, bye Beth, have a good day at school. I will. Beth says, I will. Bye Mum. And then he kisses Beth and leaves. Julian, like an on-call stepdad. Okay Beth, let's get you to school. Beth lets out a burst of laughter, then leaves. He notices the new milk was hidden behind her. He grabs it, but the cereal has run out, so he uses his bowl to skip the cereal out of the bin. He realises Beth is watching him, so he pauses and pretends to be on his mobile phone. Julian, hello, the signal, you're breaking up. And then he goes, says to Beth, better reception in the bin, I guess that means. Exterior, Julian's house, driveway, later. Julian, Callum wearing a hoodie, and Beth walk onto the driveway to see a rusty people carrier. Beth, there's no way I'm getting in that toaster. Julian, I traded my Mercedes and got this so I can fit you all in. Callum, you know there's only 3 of us. You could have kept your Merc with a seat to spare. Julian, well, hindsight is a fine thing indeed. A fine thing indeed. I feel like that's from a... Something will be a fine thing. I swear there's something like The Office. Someone says that. Or Extras. Something, that would be a fine thing. That would be a fine thing. I feel like it's Ricky Gervais somewhere. Knowing how many kids you've got is regular sight. Even Joseph Fritzl could keep track of his. Oh, Joseph Fritzl was the guy that kidnapped his daughter and kids. Classic humour of a 20-year-old. And very dated back in because you wouldn't even make that joke now because it's not even relevant, but that was like a long, it was like 10, 12, 13, 14 years ago, I'm not even sure. But Julian, it's easier when they're all in a basement, and where were you when I traded it in? Callum, it's not a people carrier, it's a rape van. Everyone is so just like, it's the same voice. Julian, that's a bit far. Callum, do all the seats go down? Yeah. Callum, so it's a rape van. Julian, none of that language. Callum, what? Van? And then interior, Julian's people carrier. Minutes later, Julian drives the kids and Beth and Callum to school. Beth, Callum farted again. No, I didn't. It smells like a garlic monster let loose at Granddad's funeral. Julian, that's vile. It's gonna seep all up in my clothes. I've got to see my agent. Poo particles everywhere. Beth, I'm gonna die. On my gravestone, it's gonna say "Death by Callum's Big Butt 2014." So I must have amended this at least in 2014. It's like Bin Laden's butthole threw it up. Everyone's just rude and swears all the time. It's relentless. Hey, no more insults. Julian, no more insults unless anyone's got another good one. Callum, you lose all seatbelt privileges. They are a privilege for good children, like Beth. Callum, I'm telling Mum you tried to attempt to murder me. Julian, oh come on, it would be negligence at worst. I get 10 years, be out in 5. Why am I thinking about this? That's dark. Drive, just no more fighting. Callum, you are the worst. Julian, you love your dad, don't you, Beth? Beth, I guess so. My dad is my dad. Julian smiles and drives over a red light at the road as the road is clear. Beth, you just drove over a red light. Julian, the road was clear. Beth, you still shouldn't. Red means stop. Julian, I've been driving safe for the past 30 years. You have to get up pretty early to surprise your dad. Beth screams, old lady. Julian swerves out the car around the old lady, 80, crossing the street. Callum laughs. Red light means stop. Old lady means swerve. Julian repeats, old lady means swerve. Woo. Relieved. Beth, you could have killed her. Julian, could you be more dramatic? Beth, you could have killed her. Genius. So, next. Exterior, school, drop-off zone, later. Julian gets out of the car. The kid's door is jammed, and so he yanks it open with effort, and Beth and Callum jump out. Beth, that was the filthiest ride ever. Julian, I've had filthier. In the noughties, a girl named Anina noticed in history of not important. Wrong audience. You see, everyone's just the same. School kids are looking and laughing at there's like no personality traits that are different between all these people. They all just like try to do whatever for the laughs. Dumb, stupid, bad, evil, sexual, all kinds of stuff. So school kids are looking and laughing at their shitmobile. This is embarrassing. At a new school. Julian, you want to know what embarrassing? Pause. This is. Julian grabs Beth and forcibly kisses her on the head. What? This is so weird. The kids are shocked while some of the parents look odd. Get off of me. This is odd. Beth, imagine if this was filmed, it would be like one of the worst things ever. Beth, surprised, pushes him off in distress. Gruff pilot voice, no, go to school and you get back. In the gruff pilot voice, no, go to school or get back in my van. Callum, what is your problem? Just embarrassing my daughter. Beth, she's not your daughter. Julian, but when I asked you if you loved your dad, you said, yeah, my dad, not you. If you were my dad, never, not ever. Julian, then who is my kid? Callum, I'm your kid. I wish I weren't though. Julian, so I just kissed a 16-year-old girl. I don't mean to embarrass. You are so cringe. Julian, chillax homies. What's the ish, dogs? This is just like everything. It's all out of character. It's like on a fever dream. The kids walk away. Julian notices Callum wearing a hoodie. Julian says, Callum, is that hoodie allowed in school? Callum says, go mouth molest the girl again. What's more to a scene? So, a disgusted parent thought he gives Julian a discerning look. Julian, God, you kiss one underage girl and everybody forgets all the millions of other underage girls I managed not to kiss. Not managed, not that I find it hard not to. I'm just going to drive off, don't look at my plates. Interior, Julian's people carry a car. Later, Julian drives to his car with his hands-free phone, speaking to Anina. Dropped them off 10 minutes ago, right on time to the dot. Anita, we found school started a half an hour ago. It's a wide drop, but let's focus on the fact that I got Callum and Beth into school. Congratulations are in order. Anita and Sophie. Yeah, I took in Sophie. What school does she go in again? Have you not taken in Sophie? Yep. But you, Anina, but you said, where's Sophie, Julian? Do you know I'm going into the Channel Tunnel? Anina, that tunnel's 100 miles away. Yep, breaking up, as Julian says. Julian presses the wrong hang up button and causes beeps as he focuses on driving. Anina, are you hanging up? No. I can hear you pressing the wrong button. Don't hang up on me. Don't hang up. Julian, about the hang up, regarding getting the right hang up button. Got it. Julian presses the correct button, hangs up. Julian. She tries to call, telling me what to do, like I'm a scared little kid. Anina, I can still hear you. Julian lets out a yelp. Like a scared kid. To recording some more. This is like long to do. So, interior, Julian People's carrier later. Julian drives the people carrier with Sophie now in the back. Julian says, "Don't tell your mother." Julian parks up outside the school and opens the door for Sophie. He bends down for a hug, but Sophie doesn't compute, so he pats Julian. So she pats down he there. She pats Julian on the head. "Aren't you forgetting something?" Julian embraces a hug with Sophie. It's paused as he thinks it's a hug. "Sophie, I meant my lunchbox in the car." Julian grabs the lunchbox and sends her on sends her on his way. Did I switch the gender at some point? Julian grabs the lunchbox and sends her on her way. "Thanks for the lift, no problemo. I'll pick you up after school as well. Love you, bye, and wipe your butt. Wipe your butt, do they still wear Julian to self. "Thanks for the lift, no problemo. I'll pick you up after school as well. Love you, bye, wipe your butt. Do they still wear diapers?" Just like toilet humour for no reason. Well, it's not even funny. Julian drives towards his agent. He receives a phone call. "Anina, how can I help you?" Anina, "Is Sophie in school now?" Julian, "I'll make sure she got in safe and not on time, but certainly at a time." Anina, "And don't ever hang up on me again, especially when it's concerning my kids." Julian, "You've got to stop treating me like a child. I know I'm new to this whole business, but I'm a rock star, and when I'm on stage, I'm both an entertainer and parent to all the people in the crowd. They're under my personal care, and only 10 people have died when I ordered them to push to the front. I've forgotten what my point is, but just don't mother me." Anina, Did you remember to eat breakfast?" Julian, "No, but I'll pick up some pick and mix." Anina, "Do you know how bad that is for your teeth? Did you remember to brush your teeth today?" Julian, "You don't get to talk down to me. You're not my wife or girlfriend or mum." Julian, annoyed, hangs up. Julian to himself, "God, I need to brush my teeth. Maybe I have some gum here somewhere." Interior, Julian's car. People carrier later. Julian's in his car eating McDonald's and a Coke bigger than his face. He spots Callum in his distinctive hoodie skipping school with Brad, 14, a new friend from his school. That's really quick. Julian to make a friend and bunk school. Julian jumps out to confront them, almost forgetting his burger. This continues as the filming. Okay. It's not very good. So Julian approaches Callum and Brad after a short jog in which he feels some heart pain. Julian, Callum, "What are you doing here?" Brad, "Is this your granddad?" Julian, "I'm not that old." Brad, "Where's your hearing aid? Left it on the city bus." See, everybody is mean in this. Julian, "I don't need one. 20/20 hearing, and why would I leave it on a bust, like a lady's bust, right?" Callum, "He's my lame ass dad." Brad, "I thought you said your dad died 10 years before you were born." Julian, "That's not even possible." Brad, "Yeah, you did. He said he was smuggling dildo." Everyone is just very, very crass. Smuggling dildos across the border and got shot by the sea police. Julian, "On your first day you skipped school and you've already told people lies about me. Tell him the truth." Callum, "Okay, I lied. It was anal beads and the regular police, but he was shot in the butt." Really? Everyone's talking about dildos and vibrators in this. Julian, "No, I didn't." Callum, "Prove it." Julian, "Okay." Julian gets out his bum cheek to reveal no bullet hole. Julian, "See?" Brad, "I can't believe you just showed some kids your arsehole." Spell asshole. Julian, "It was to prove a point, so it's legal and you should be in school." Brad, "Where do I know you from?" Julian, "Check it." Julian poses as if holding a bass guitar. Brad can't remember. Shadow, rock and roll. Brad, "My dad listens to that stuff. He's a D-head. You're shit." Julian, "Well, at first I haven't made #1 in 2 countries. The facts speak for themselves." "Which ones?" Julian, "Albania and Wales." Brad, this is so lame. Brad, I've never heard of that country. Julian, Albania's in Eastern Europe. Brad, not Albania, Wales. Where is that? Middle East? Have we bombed them? Julian, what kind of education are you two receiving? Does your school even teach music? Brad, yeah, but all we have is a bongo and 2 whistles. Callum, why do you think we're skipping and we're going to duck English literature as well? It's shit. Language. Julian, language. Callum, yes, English language is also shit. Julian, since you're skipping, I'm going to let you learn a little about music history and so the present. Callum, do we have a choice? Julian, was Martin Luther King black? Callum and Brad offer blank stares. Julian, you really need a better education. Julian marches them both into his car. The disgusted parent sees this from a distance whilst on her phone. Disgusted parent, I'm sorry, can I call you back? I need to do the right thing as a citizen and report a crime. She hangs up and dials a number. Disgusted parent, I'd like to speak to a reporter. My name is Cynthia, C-Y-N. Yes, I'll wait. Interior, Julian's people carry a car. Later, Julian is in the car with Callum and Brad. He is playing with old songs. The track ends. Callum, I think I want to go to school now. If we leave now, we can catch the last 15 of math. I actually put on my old maths teacher's name there, but I'm going to skip that out. Callum, or at least the last quarter hour. Okay, Callum, just leave your hoodie. Interior, talent agency, Simon's office. Later, Julian walks past his talent agent's assistant, Tacoma 19, female, hide for eye candy, annoyingly passive, apathetic. Now you can see I just literally just the way I write the female characters in this is like, hide for eye candy, mum's body. Sorry, Mr. Tacoma, it's just assistant. Sorry, Mr. Cardellini, I guess that's Julian's name. You know why that is? Because it's like Julian Casablancas from The Strokes. Mr. Cardellini isn't in the office at the moment. Can I take your name? Julian. I can see him literally in his office. Simon, 25, Julian's tragic agent, he has 2 clients, is in his office practicing popping and locking alone. Tacoma, can I take your name? It's Julian. Tacoma, Julian? Julian says no, Julian. Julian St. Louis. I guess no, Cardinelli. Well, that's the agent's name. Tacoma, are you new here? We have this simple rule about not being rude. Julian, I've been with this agency for 10 years. I'm a musician turned actor. I love seeing how everyone like Tacoma, everyone's just rude and nasty. Well, Tacoma, well, I've not seen you on a TV gig in the past 10 years. Julian, it's probably because I've been with this agency for 10 years. How long have you worked here? Tacoma, oh, this is my first day. Simon says, Julian, come in. Hey. Let's get the rest of this done. So, internal talent agency, Simon's office, continuous. Julian tentatively walks in as Simon stamps down his phone. Simon, talk of the actual devil. I just got a call from the Star asking for an official comment. Julian, they want my comment for a new sexy fedora. Is that why? Why? They want my comment for a new sexy fedora. Why is this even in there? Like, it's just... So, some phone. Okay, so Simon, I don't even know what that would be. But a woman called her and said, you by name lured 2 boys into a van and forced yourself on an underage girl. Julian, face lights up. Somebody recognised me. Simon, before you got into a rape van, a witness, why obsessed with rape? Why? It's just like, it's just comedy, whatever. Like, it was when I was 20. A witness also saw the boys leave the van with less clothes. It's so dodgy. Julian, I made him take off his hoodie and the people carrier is there because the seats collapsed so much I could smash in the kid's junk in the back. So bad. Simon, stop talking. Maybe we can spin this. Say it was your first time. It was all outside the trousers. No trial. Keep it cool. Keep it hip. Say you're sorry. Show remorse. Maybe make a documentary. Julian, I'm not sorry. It had to be done. Simon, you're not sorry. He deserved it. He was a future mini Stalin and you stopped him. He hated pose. Epiphany, he hated pose. We could say you were molested as a child. Were you molested as a child? This is so bad, Julian. No. Simon, you're making this harder for me. I shouldn't use those words. They could be a trigger for you. At least tell me you had an uncle with a moustache. Somebody who could pin this on. Not a moustache, the abuse. Julian, look, it was my son and his friend. Simon, we can't spin this. They're going to run with this in tomorrow's edition. We must deny it never happened. Julian, it never happened. Simon, yeah, that's the mindset we need. Julian, no, I actually didn't do it. Just as my agent just fixes. It's a mistake. Kill the story. I'll let the kids offer statements. Simon winks. Consider it denied. I'll tell them it was a mistake. Wink, wink. Julian, not wink, but you also said that the woman that reported me recognised me. What did she think? Simon, other than that you act like a paedophile. Julian, yeah, did she say anything else? Maybe that I was looking healthy. Simon, you want me to say that she reported that a healthy paedophile took kids into a van? Julian, only if that's how she reported it. I'll know if you're lying. Don't sugarcoat the truth. Simon, she said you looked haggard, wrong and deluded. Beat. Pause. Julian, there's a poor imitation of a crying man. Julian, Simon, you are no actor, my friend. That was a terrible lie. So, now that you're actually done accusing your client of being a paedophile, what would you have done for me? Simon reads on his computer screen. Let me know. I might just change those words. Let me know. Let me get your name up, okay? As David Finch is looking for a film, an adaptation of Horatio Nelson during the Battle of Waterloo, and he wants you for the lead. He wants me, says Julian. Simon, I'm surprised too, but he specifically asked for you. Julian, no need to say you're surprised. Simon, but you are surprised too. Shall I tell him you're interested then? Of course. This is great news. He wants me to play Lord Nelson, by Julian. Said by Julian. Simon, I guess he admired your work in Harry Potter, as do I. You were a real scene stealer. Julian, I wasn't in Harry Potter. Simon, yeah you were, all 4 or 5. Professor Snape. It shows you how old this is, because there's at the point. When was the last Harry Potter movies filmed, Vicky? There's 4 or 5. One, two. No, by the time I had written this, that all 8 movies are out, and he was probably in all but the last one, so 7, because he got killed off. Julian, no, Snape, and that wasn't me. You think I'm Snape. Simon, you're not Snape or a real wizard. You acted as Snape. Julian, I'm not Alan Rickman. Julian, the thespian that played Professor Snape, he's in Die Hard, Robin Hood. Simon, oh, so you don't worry about the part. Julian, so I don't have the job. What, Simon, why would Fincher want you? He's got a real actor like Alan Rickman. Julian, can I have a look at it? Simon, better not, it's on sleep. Julian spins around Simon's computer to reveal it's just a hollowed out broken monitor. Julian has no words. Simon, I'm not going to lie, people kept going into... This is just terrible. Simon, I'm not going to lie, people kept going onto webcam porn in my office and using my credit card and my face to look at models. Julian, I have no idea why I pay you. But why would he have a fake computer, even if that was the case? Like a broken computer. Julian, I have no idea why I pay you. Simon, I had your card cloned. Julian, what was that? Simon slightly turns his... everyone is just a scumbag in this. They're all the same character. Julian, what was that? Simon turns his fake monitor screen back to himself. Simon, sorry. Just need to check my email. Interior Julian's house kitchen evening. Julian has a landline phone to his ear as he rings Anina. Sophie plays with a plastic bag on her head. Callum pulls at Julian's arm. Callum, I'm hungry. Julian says, I know. Off screen, Kevin tugs the back of his shirt. Kevin, in a higher pitched voice, says, I'm hungry. Julian says, I said I know. Julian turns around realising it's Kevin sucking in a glass balloon. Really? This is just like convenient the whole way through. Julian, how old are you? Grow up. I'm 28 3/4. I am a grown-up. Julian, helium, real mature. Kevin, you mean hydrogen? Kevin grabs the balloon off him. Julian, hydrogen's a volatile gas. Kevin, fine, I'm just gonna go chill with a cigarette instead. So it's classic that Julian is suddenly a genius when he's with Kevin, but he's an idiot in every other situation. Phone conversation at the hospital. So Anina picks up. She's in a she's in a phone call with Julian. Anina was with a patient, 22 male, cubicle on her mobile phone. The patient's wife comforts him. Anina, what is it? Julian, they're all hungry. When are you back? Anina, not till 10:30. Julian, that's so long. The kids all hate me. I can't keep them distracted. I gave Sophie a plastic bag to play with half an hour ago. Anina, you can't give her a plastic bag as a toy. What if she, Julian, loses it? No problem. They come free at Tesco. I swear I've seen that. Use that in a different script. And what did kids eat? Multivitamins, tinfoil, eggs are a meal. Right, 3 of the main food groups: vitamins, protein, and light metals. Anina, I don't know. Just order in. Interior, Julian's house, kitchen. I'm not far from the end. Kitchen continues. Julian gets off the phone. Julian, any of you want pizza? Everyone says yeah. Julian, no sides though. The children, include Kevin, become glum. Internal hospital continuous. Last week pages. Continue with Anina and the patient. Anina hangs up her mobile phone. Patient touches and rolls his eyes at her. Anita, do you just roll your eyes at me? Patient, no. Actually, I think staff being on the phone is a waste of hospital time, money and resource. Patient's wife, his bowels are in agony. Anina, I'm wasting time, I'm wasting resource, we've got your x-rays back. Anina slaps up an x-ray of the patient that shows a rodent lodged in his colon. Very Richard Gere. The patient becomes, I don't know what part of the body the colon is. It's in the digestive system, mate, near like the butt, but I don't think you can put something inside it. I think it deals with like filtering bad stuff, poisons or stuff out of your body. So let's have a look at what a colon is. Okay, so the colon is literally like part of the lower intestine, so you ain't gonna get anything up there. And it says x-ray the patient as a rodent lodged in his colon. The patient becomes shy, his wife is confused. Anina, and it's not me who has the hamster stuffed in his colon. Patient, it's a rat. I mean, I have no idea what that is. Is that even an x-ray of me? I have a wider, less blue waist. Like, all of them are just, every character is just into some weird sex stuff and like dumb idiots, blah blah blah, depending on the scene. I mean, patient's wife, what's going on, babe? Anina, I'm going to explore all options and be sensitive about this. Your wife is here. I believe a rodent has invaded your anus and eaten your rectum against your will. Patient, no, that's not me. I'm a man. I can fight off any animal between, say, a lamb to 2 Shreks. Is that going to be sharks? I'll have a wife. Anina, for us to proceed with your medical treatment options, we need you to consent to the treatment and so admit to it being in there. That's it. Patient, it's a mistake. You've just got bad machines. Anita, you were taken advantage sexually by a rodent. You're still a man. Admit it. So we can move on. Patient, no, I wasn't raped. There's no rat inside of me. Or odd, graped. Patient's wife, babe, you even got graped by a rodent or willingly had sex with it. Why? Why is this in a script? Why? Why? Why is this in there? Patient, instantly lying. I mean, so we can move on. Okay, patient, no, I wasn't raped. There's no rat inside me. Patient's wife, baby, you ever got raped by a rodent or you willingly had sex with it? Patient, instantly, I was raped by it. Obviously the first one. Anina, good. Anina turns on surgical vacuum. 1 page left. Interior, Julian's house, kitchen later. The kids are all eating their pizza in the lounge. Julian stands watching them. He smiles. He sits down in the kitchen with Lizzie, who still appears annoyed despite reconciliation. Lizzie, you're starting to get the hang of it, I see. Julian, it's not so too bad. It's only temporary. The kids may not love me, but they definitely all respect me. Julian hears the doorbell. Julian shouts for someone else. There's someone at the door. Then someone answer the door. Julian gets up to answer it. Lizzie pulls Julian back down. You need them to look up and respect you. Sophie walks to the kitchen and gets a Coke out of the fridge. Lizzie, like this. Hey honey, could you So Lizzie's talking to Sophie. Hey honey, could you get the door? Lizzie says, your face looks tired. Lizzie reclines her. Julian, it all gets easier from here. You can see Kevin outside the window lighting a cigarette and setting himself alight. Wow. So I wrote this 21, 10, 12 years ago. It ages terribly. It clearly wasn't a good when I wrote it, and yeah, it is very questionable. Everything's like sex related. Everyone is an idiot somehow. There's no consistency in there's no differences in the characters. It just depends on the scene. Yeah, mad.